bit noisy just for the first couple of minutes here, and then it'll be quiet. Look at all these comments already. What's going on? Good morning, gang. Good morning, gang. Okay, as I said, noisy for a couple of minutes till this is cleared, and then it'll be quiet work for the rest of the morning. So. Okay, I think that's it for the noise here. If we haven't driven away everybody already, here we go. It's quiet time now. This is, of course, one of the blocks for the share certificate. So we've got the other two done. It's the red Fuji image that'll be part of our share certificate. The sky block is done. I was doing it on the stream yesterday. The red mountain is done. And this is the key block, just one simple line. About one of the simplest blocks I've ever carved. Just smooth it out, cut away the edge, we're done. Okay, what we've got on tap today, it's a carving day today. I'll be doing this first, just finishing up this block. This is the last one for this set. And most of the rest of the time today will be taken up by carving on the microwave print, the smaller version of the Great Wave print. I have to finish the calligraphy on that. But between those two, after I finish this, I've got something to show you, something that came in yesterday. Totally out of the blue, totally surprise for us. Kind of interesting. Could be a big deal, could be not so much, I'm not quite sure. It's a stack of prints. I've got a stack of about 40 prints at the side here. And they're kind of fun. I'll show you when I get this done here. This is an unusual block for us. It's a piece of cherry embedded into a piece of plywood. The print is larger, but I don't need a piece of cherry to cover the whole thing, just this one small zone. Okay, I think I better zoom in for this last little bit. Okay, where are we? Okay, I think that's done. Put that out of the way. Oh, question in the question box. Just a second. I think it's done. Let's zoom out a bit here. So here's the 3 blocks. They're finished now, ready for test printing. Where am I? I don't have a copy of the certificate thing. Where am I? Here we are. I have a black and white copy. This is the thing it's going to be covered. It's going to be color. It'll be the share certificate for our Patreon supporters. The background part, the engraving part, all the text will be printed, laser printed on washi paper. And the central core, this little piece, will be a woodblock print. And that's what these blocks are for. It's the famous Hokusai Red Fuji. And there's the sky, the mountain, and the outline. Okay, so this is going to be put to bed for a few days now. That's ready. And when I get the first test prints back from Kinko's, where we're having it printed, I think, I'm not quite sure still yet, then I'll do some test printing. That'll be a few days from now. So this is going to be put to bed for a while. Okay. I better see that question timing. Oh, lots of comments, lots of comments. Okay, comments, Twitch comments, questions, here we are. It's a question I can't answer. Somebody's asking about how many of our techniques are applicable to lino cutting. I don't have any idea, I'm sorry. I've never seen, touched, felt a piece of lino. I have no idea how to cut it. The question was, does my carving knife work when you cut lino? And I just have no idea what to say, I'm sorry. And I know where you can find out. Over on the Facebook page that's associated with this stream, somebody can maybe link it, what we call the Acolyte page. There are people there who are working with lino and traditional woodblock prints. There's one lady there who is doing both. She's doing both kind of prints. So she could definitely answer your question. I can't. I don't know it. I'm sorry. The gradation. What's the question here? What's asking about the gradation on this Fuji print? I don't know. At the moment, this is it's the blank block. When we print it later, we'll be printing this one in 2 colors. We'll print a red base first, and then I'll print a gradation on the top. Gradations don't appear in the blocks. Gradations appear at the time you print them. So there's nothing to show there as far as gradation goes. Okay, now, bunch of interesting stuff this morning. I know I'm going to be carving in a few minutes back on the microwave, but before I do, I've got something to show you. It came up yesterday, totally out of the blue. I didn't know this was happening. I'd never even heard of this. Let's have a look. Oh, there's too much stuff stacked on the bench here. Just to make it stuff out of the way first. Patreon chibis, that's got to get out of the way. Hang on a second. Another batch of Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. Look at this, it just arrived from Kupoto-san. He's really done a good job with this. I've got to do embossing on those. That might happen tomorrow. For now, put it aside. I can't get to that right now. Where can I put them? Oh. This. Okay, here we go. What this is. Prints. Anybody recognize this stuff? Anybody recognize these? I should maybe put this light off, I think. I got a visit last night from Numabe-san. Numabe-san is the guy who's been doing a great deal of our printing on the Heroes prints, a great wave going back about 5 years ago. He doesn't do much for us now because he's too busy with other work. He's a printer here in Tokyo. He's about my age. In fact, he's pretty much exactly my age. And he learned printing from 2 guys. He learned his printing from Nakajo-san, Nakajo-sensei. And then after he cut his teeth working in Nakajo-san's workshop, Numabe-san went over to the Yoshida workshop, where he worked for a number of years together with Komatsu-san. And Komatsu-san was the main printer for the Yoshida workshop, I don't know, through the late 70s and into the 80s until he retired. And he would have retired in the late 1980s or early 1990s, I'm not sure which. So Komatsu-san taught basically Numabe-san a lot of stuff, and Numabe-san and Komatsu-san worked side by side at neighboring benches in the Yoshida workshop. And now for the past more than 10 years, Numabe-san has been the main printer for the Yoshida family. All the Yoshida prints we have in our shop here, the ones by Yoshida Toshi, are all printed by Numabe-san. He's been doing a fabulous job. I know the grandson of Hiroshi, the Tsukasa-san, who's still alive, is keeping the standards very high, working with Numabe-san to get those prints back in stock. Now, there's a bit of a backstory to this. The Yoshida family has 3 generations. There was the Hiroshi Yoshida, the guy who started the whole thing, then his son Toshi Yoshida, and then his son Tsukasa Yoshida. Tsukasa is alive today. He's just a few years older than me. Toshi died in 1995. Hiroshi died in 1950 or 51. The current prints that we all have are Toshi Yoshida's reprints. Those blocks are controlled by his son Tsukasa, and Tsukasa is happily printing them and putting them out into the market. The next generation up, Hiroshi Yoshida, the blocks are in storage and have been for many, many, many years, and they are not being reprinted. And the reason is because the Yoshida family, many members, still can't agree on what to do with them. That's a funny situation because Yoshida Hiroshi's copyrights, they're out of copyright now. He's been dead long enough that his work is not in copyright. But as far as reprinting them, it's not a copyright issue. It's a question of who's got the blocks. And the family has the blocks in storage, but they can't agree on whether they should be printed or who should print them or where the money should go around and all those kind of issues. So for the past 20 years or so, 30 years, there's been no reprints of Hiroshi Yoshida stuff out in the world. There's lots of stuff left over from when he was alive, but there are next to no what we call atozuri, reprints. I myself went to the Yoshida workshop in 1986, the autumn of 1986, and I saw Komatsu-san printing there. And they had just finished a special project. The family did get together and agree on making a bunch of reprints in 1985 and 1986. And the occasion was the publication of a book. I think it was called The Complete Works of Hiroshi Yoshida. Maybe somebody can find an Amazon link or something. It's out of print now, I believe, but it was published in 1985 or 1986. And to celebrate the publication of that book, there was an exhibition and gallery sale held at that time. And the family agreed to have a bunch of reprints of Hiroshi Yoshida's prints made at that time. They're kind of rare. You don't see them on the market these days. How can you identify them? Here, let me look. Here's one. Most of them, not all, have this embossing on them. Let me try and find this. Hang on a sec. There's a phrase in Japanese, and it says, Gashu Kinen Ato Zuri. Gashu is image collection. Kinen is commemoration. And atozuri, later printing. So these were made in 1985 or 1986. They're restrikes from the Hiroshi Yoshida blocks, approved by the family, distributed at that time, and since that time they've just basically disappeared. Very, very rare to see them now and then. Gashu Kinen. If you Google it, Gashu Kinen Yoshida or something, and see what comes up. There might be some information about this somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, to jump forward, what happens now is Numabe-san visited me last night. What has happened is Komatsu-san, the old printer he worked with, passed away a few months ago. And in Komatsu-san's family is cleaning up, and in and among the drawers and cabinets of stuff, they have found a complete collection of these Gashu Kinen prints. And that's what I've got some of here on the desk today. And what's happened is the kid, the son of Komatsu-san, didn't really know what these were. So he first called a dealer in, and the dealer scooped a bunch of these, threw some money on the table, I don't know the details of how much, and scooped a bunch of them. The boy wised up a bit. He then phoned Numabe-san, and Numabe-san and Tsukasa-san went over there and looked through the rest of it. And they themselves took a bunch of the stuff away. Numabe-san has brought some of those to me now, saying, Dave, what do I do with these? He has no idea what they're worth, what to do with them. He's just brought them to me because we have knowledge of, the internet and markets and customers and collectors and blah, 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 blah. And he's dumped these on my desk last night. He hasn't given them to me, of course. These are his. He wants to sell them. He wants to get paid for them. And my problem is now I've got these here and I don't have a clue what to do with them. Hiroshi Yoshida reprints don't exist anymore. They're really, really, really rare. They don't exist. They're not making them. The blocks are just sleeping and will sleep until the family finally decides, generations from now, what to do with them. And I've got these things. So what I'm going to have to do over the next few days is get out onto the net, try and do some research on this, and you guys can already start this from me right now. And what they've got is some of them are in 1 copy, and some of them are in 2 or 3 copies. Some of them actually have the embossing, Gashu Kinen Atozuri, and some of them don't have that embossing. Here's one, look at this, there's 3, I think there's two copies of this one. This is a well-known one of his mountain scenes. Ah, so good. The story continues. I said Gashu Kinen was the series that was produced. There's been two editions of some of these. One was for that series when the book was published, and another one because the Yoshida family has always been really heavily involved in hiking and mountain climbing in Japan. There's this one, which I'll have to do a bit more research on. Some of these prints are embossed. Nihon Alps. I can't read upside down. 12 scenes from it. This is one from the 12 scenes of the Japan Alps. I think there was some kind of commemoration, some kind of mountain climbing club or something had a anniversary or whatever, and the Yoshida family cooperated by putting out 12 of the Yoshida Alps scenes to commemorate that thing. Again, I haven't done any research on this yet. I'm just trying to remember from my memory what I know about these things. This was done in 1986 when I was there at the studio. So, this one doesn't have the embossing on it, but it's clearly from that same group. Oops, zooming out now. Sorry about that, excuse me. That does a lot of sense. Sorry about that. The last 3 or 4 I showed it without zooming, sorry. This one's well known, famous now, this design. There's 2 of these. They're cool. It's beautiful prints now. Honestly beautiful prints. And these are not like wasted ones that weren't part of the edition. They are beautifully done. I don't see any problems with it. It's not like these were rejects from the edition or something. These look to be totally well done. So whether they were one of each was given to Komatsu-san the printer, or whether he just took one home or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, some of them have this on too. You get confused with my zooming in and zooming out. Very, very few of them have this. It actually says reprinted 1985, and that's sort of embossed on with a funny little embossing. Not all of them have that. So it's a real mixed bag here. Komatsu-san the printer probably took some of them home before they were embossed. I don't even remember this image. Is that in the book? I don't remember that. It's a very rough style, you know. It's a mix of smooth, deep, rich, traditional printing, and then some very, you know, it's not the style I like. It's gomazuri. It's printed really roughly to show texture, you know. And it's a mix of production methods. Some of them are printed from normal wooden blocks. This is clearly just a wooden block. It's a normal set of wood block prints. And some of them are printed absolutely. The key block will be metal blocks. Yoshida was pioneering that technique. Now, this is back in the 1930s, I guess. I don't know. What is it? And some of the key blocks are done. This one for sure. The key block is done with a metal block. They didn't carve all that custody. That was done with a brush. This is a tough one. Honte is a tough one. I know the white stuff, the light white clouds, they're not printed with white, you know. These prints are made with, I know, anytime you see lighter colors, it's the paper showing through. So to get that white mist on the mountainside, they didn't print something white. That's the paper showing through. So this dark part is printed around this and around this and around this without going into the middle of there, to leave some of the paper white showing through. It's really, really, really difficult to do. Oh, this one's famous, Tomonura. There's a metal key block and the rest of the blocks are wood. Very, very famous print. Kind of strange coloring, you know, that was his deal. You know, more than one copy of this. So. This one's well known too. Oh, here we are. So, Japan Alps, you know, famous places, 110 years is an anniversary. So some of these were made in cooperation with some kind of mountain climbing society. Not so sure about the coloring here. It looks like Neapolitan ice cream in the sky, but whatever. Oh, here we are. Same. 1, 2, 3 copies. Oh, this is a rare one too. This is Gate in Gold and White. What was it? This was Yoshida's last print, kind of second from the last. I don't remember the history of this one. I'm not up on my history here. I think this was one of the ones he designed, but they didn't issue because he couldn't get it figured out what to do. And after he died, his son Toshi issued it, I think. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, quite a treasure here, and I'm not really quite sure what to do with them. I have no idea. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This one is beautiful. Only one copy, unfortunately. Look at this. This is classic. Deep, gloomy nighttime mountain sky. I'm not in love with this design, you know, whatever, but you can see too the key block here. They've done different colors. Like the key block is done in red and then orange. It's all been printed at different levels and different, I don't know, tones. This is really not ukiyo-e printing for sure. They're playing. Sometimes they're painting on these blocks. Okay, 4 of this one. It's too bad. It's not going to be a very popular image, but. Show of 5, that would be 1947. And 4 of that one. Nice, pleasant image too. Oh, this is a popular one. This will be big. What are these called? They're shinhanga. The genre is called shinhanga. And Yoshida was one of the early guys. He's one of the ones that got this thing going. You know, Yoshida Hiroshi and Watanabe, and look at this. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Oh, 4 of that one. That's nice. Good. Oh, this is a nice one too. Look at this. Is this on a Mariano Cohen in Kyoto? I don't remember the location. It's just called A Weeping Cherry in the Rain is his name of it. I think it's Maruyama Park in Kyoto, I don't remember. No, Himeji Castle. So, this stuff really shows his background as an oil painter, you know. I mean, I myself, I don't like this. It's just muddy and muddy and muddy. But this is his roots as an oil painter. He didn't come to this through watercolor painting like most of the print artists. He came to it from oil painting. Anyway, so there we are. So I'll be blogging about this later. And what I have to do now is to try and figure out what to do with them. And my problem is, as I said, I don't have any idea what they're worth. Because they're so unique. You know. Hiroshi Yoshida reprints don't exist anymore. There's none on the market. And here we have suddenly about 40 of them, bang, coming out. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll poke around. We'll get some advice. What we might do, and I haven't decided what we might do, is take a few of these perhaps. First step, scan them, describe them, put them on eBay maybe, just to see what the market thinks they're worth, you know, because I myself don't have a clue what they're worth. They're not original prints. They're not signed by Yoshida himself. He was dead when these were made. But they're very rare because there's no such thing as Yoshida reprints on the market these days. And I don't know. There's no minimum value. We're going to have to pretty much let the market decide what they are, you know. It depends on the image too, you know. Some of the images are more popular and more attractive than other ones. So that will reflect what people will think they're worth, you know. I would like to keep some myself, but Nababe-san just turned it over to me. Do what you want with them, he said. He wants as much money as possible for them, but I didn't let him get his hopes too high, you know. Anyway, there they are. Enough. Okay, time for some real work. What time is it now? 8:30. Enough playing around, enough show and tell. Time for me to get some work. We've got some calligraphy to carve here. Where are we? Let's try and get this located. Is that close enough? Okay. Right, for those of you who don't know, I mean, some of you are newbies here, whatever, we're covering a reproduction of the Great Wave print. This is for use in our print party room. And the stream here seems to have dubbed it the microwave, being as how it's smaller than the main Great Wave print. We're getting quite a lot of kitchen gear in our mascot series here. This is the microwave. We have a fridge back there somewhere. He's up on the shelf there watching over us. So, all right, I've been too much talk. Let's get some work done here, Dave. We're going to first get closer to the outlines of this lettering and then start the actual letters themselves. Could be quite a little job here. What's happening on the stream here? Do. Should be hearing a doorbell pretty soon, I guess. It's yeah, right. It's Monday morning, and that'll be Cameron, I guess, coming up the stairs first, presumably. I hear footsteps. I hear doorbells.
Hello.
How you doing, sir? How was your weekend?
That was good. Quiet. How was your weekend?
Let's not go there, okay?
Busy days.
Of course it's been busy days. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have weekends, Cameron.
How were your Saturday and Sunday?
They're pretty good. I know it's come down off the cherry season peak, but
right.
it's still pretty frantic.
Yeah. But that's good. Doing good businesses.
And your order box, I guess, is it's jammed, I think.
It is. I took a peek. Yep.
Okay.
Like, whoo,
I didn't actually. I looked at it, I think, Friday or something, and it was already building up just a few hours after you'd left. What's that going to be like on Monday morning? I don't know.
I think there.
Let me get some stuff out of the way here. There's been a bunch of developments over the weekend. So I've got to chat with you about. We got a bunch of instant prints. I was just showing the people on the stream here.
These Yoshida and
Yoshida Hiroshi prints.
Hiroshi,
40 of them. Yes.
Hiroshi. Okay.
Hiroshi, and so
right.
Cameron's thinking, what do you mean Hiroshi Yoshida prints? I've already told him they're not being printed, and here we are with 40
We've got
of them.
some, yeah. What is this?
Yeah, I'll fill you in later here. I haven't had a chance. I've been carving here, so I really haven't seen what's happening here.
Okay.
There might be good conversation. There might be nothing. And there's a bunch of new people here, I think, so introduce yourself again. So.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody.
A bunch of new faces, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Names. You are now on TV. Indeed, I am. That's one of the new people's names. Cool. Finishing up the...
Yeah, what I did was, I don't know what you've seen or what you've been in, the blocks for the share certificate are now ready.
Oh, great.
Those were done. That's now finished. So
excellent. That'll be fun.
So that project is moving ahead, full steam. So
excellent.
And yesterday was a sizing stream, and today it's back to work on the microwave.
Oh, yeah. The microwave.
It's become the microwave. So we have a real appliance center here, fridge up on the shelf there, and
yes.
Fridge and microwave.
Man. John Becker requests.
Oh, from Tennessee.
Yep. Says, tell Dave not to sell the Hiroshi Weeping Cherry and Kyoto print until I have a crack at it. So,
okay. And I'll just let John, these are not mine. I know my son has brought them over and put them on my desk sort of for now, saying, Dave, what shall we do with these? You know,
yeah.
They're Numabi-san's. I guess he either
I
stole
remember
them.
you saying something about They found these? Or?
No, the Komatsu-san, the printer. He's died. He's dead. He passed away.
Oh, okay.
So, and in his drawers, they found a bunch of all the work he did for, he was either given one of each or he took one of each. We don't even know, whatever. So Namabe-san has brought these to me and said, Dave, what do we do with them? I mean, he's not giving them to me. He wants to get paid for them.
Yes.
But I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue what they're worth. They're...
Start the auction?
No, I don't know. Find some kind of a fair value for them. As we were saying on the stream, they're not the same price as the original Hiroshi Yoshidas with pencil signatures. These are Atozuri, later printing. Right, But there are no other later printings these days. So in that sense, it's
still
huge demand and very, very limited supply. So I don't know. So, But yeah, okay, I'll take John's comment there. Absolutely. Okay. So I won't do anything with them, John, until I talk to you. So whatever, So keep you in touch with what's going on. So.
Where are you getting this information? Bandare? Bandare? So some say Cameron is an excellent carver, but shy to show us on a stream. Yeah, I haven't touched a carving knife ever, so...
Well, he's forbidden to, of course. I mean, we need staff here to make prints, but we also need people here to keep the place running. And
to not make prints.
more valuable to us, I think.
Yeah.
As a
until you give me a 10-year apprenticeship.
Whatever. So exactly. So.
Just also not happening.
So Cameron's function here is administration and whatever. I don't know what to say. Everything.
Entertainment.
Whatever.
Yeah. Ken Hallett says the same thing. Be interested in one of the Yoshida prints also. So yeah, send an email so that it doesn't get lost in this chat stream. We can keep better track of it.
I'll try I guess I'll try and put some kind of inventory list up. I can't. I mean, I can't scan all 40 of them and get them up, but I'll do something. I'll start to put a list up or something, or maybe. And as we saw, a few of them, there's multiple copies. Most of them are one each, but some of them are two each or three each. I think in one case there was 4 of them. So.
Oh, wow.
And I'm in the middle here. We want to get these things out at fair prices to our fans and collectors and friends. And Namabe-san, I want to get what they're worth, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're worth, so yeah.
They're worth what people pay for them. Whatever that number is.
That's what we'll have to decide, I guess. I can't put them all on eBay one at a time. Is that the way to do that? I don't think so.
Yeah, you could. It would be a lot of...
Because I don't like eBay.
Yeah.
It could be out. There's a bunch of them out there. These are from an edition that was made in 1985, 1986. Okay. We call it Gashu Kinen. So it's quite possible that there are some of those on the market now in other shops or stuff like that. Because Namabe-san said he thought there was around 80 to 100 of each copy made at that time for that edition.
Wow.
But he didn't know. He was just a little kid there at that time. So.
Yeah.
So they may be out there. There may be an established valuation for these already out there. Just, I don't know. I haven't had time. These came in last night. He came in after the shop was closed last night.
Wow. Yeah. So they haven't been here very long.
No, last night. Yeah. I've done no research yet at all. I haven't done any Googling or whatever. Compare Dave's calligraphy carving pace here with the carving on those books we showed in that YouTube video last week, all that page of calligraphy,
Yeah.
After 50 minutes, I'm still on the same character here,
Yeah.
Those guys were just insane.
Just been machines.
Just machines. So
not actually machines.
Machine-like, just no talking, no thinking, just go, move, twist, turn, cut, twist, cut, twist, cut, turn. Just insane. We're just fooling around compared to what those guys could do. They would just laugh if they saw what I was doing, or cry, one or the other.
Or cry. What are you doing? Let's see, Zoltrad, I think. He's asking, when's the best time of day to come visit the shop? Someone suggested, look at the print party schedule and come on a day when it's fairly light. Yeah, if you want to talk longer, then that works. If you want to participate in the print party, sign up. They're a lot of fun, and that also gives you a chance to talk with the staff because you're working one-on-one with them while you're making the print. So it's just unpredictable. Even if like the print party schedule today is light at the moment, but what's going to happen any minute now? I mean, just sometimes we get bookings the morning of, or sometimes an hour before,
and people drop in.
Yep. So they just walk in and say, "Hey, do you have an opening?" Yep.
There was one like that yesterday. It was really funny. We had an opening. We finished our normal. We finished 3 print parties, and a couple came in and looked around. We thought they were just a normal tourist couple, whatever. Look around. And then she introduced herself. She's a printmaker in Britain and said, I was wondering if it's possible, maybe I could think about what happens. Is it possible to think about maybe a print party? Because she was just so shy and embarrassed to ask. And she was a printmaker, So we had times we just jumped. And why didn't you reserve? Well, I was just, I wasn't sure you guys are so busy and all. So she just, So they had great fun. Kawai-san and Nakamura-san took her in the room there, and they was at the end of the day. They came about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there was no party schedule. So they spent the rest of the day in there fooling around together, making stuff and laughing.
Kawai-san and who was it?
Nakamura-san.
Nakamura-san. That's right.
A good combination. They were just laughing themselves silly in there. The woman was showing them her prints on her phone and stuff.
Fun.
And they get excited when it's a printmaker, when it's somebody who really knows about this.
Yeah, I'm sure they.
But this woman almost didn't do it. She didn't book in advance. It could have been filled up. She was just too shy.
So, did you say it was a husband or?
It was she, a lady with her husband.
Okay, but only she did it.
No, the two of them together did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I hope Numabe-san is going to pay you a commission for selling these prints.
Well, what we would do, so I know, of course we will get a piece of this, but that's not a part of my conundrum here. We have the Toshi Yoshida prints in stock from him. They come to us through Numabe-san. We don't buy directly from Tsukasa-san, the son. And of course, it's a deal. It's X% to Numabe and X% to us. We don't actually get much for it. Actually, the idea is to try and help him keep going. So yes, if these things sell, it'll probably be. I'm just guessing off the cuff. We'll keep 3. Numabe will get 7, something like that. There's no contract. There's no negotiation. He's stuck because he can't speak English. There's nothing he can do with them. So he's totally dependent on us for selling these. So we could negotiate harder but whatever, It's my main question, just to try and find a fair valuation for the thing,
BP8483 says, hello, Dave and Cameron. Hello. I don't know if I've met you. Without names, sometimes it's hard to tell. Have you been on the shop lately?
There's been, over the weekend, there was a few people, who were Twitch viewers. I always ask them, do I know you? And they say, oh, no, I haven't been commenting.
Oh, well, comment.
So that's why I told them, I have no idea. So they said, okay, I know you, but you don't know me,
Yeah.
But the point is, Twitch, if you go back a few months, it was just YouTube viewers is all we ever saw in the shop. But more and more these days, it's people who have been watching this stream.
Yeah.
And almost all of them, when I ask them, do I know your handle name? What's going on? I say, oh, no, I don't actually comment. I don't comment. So it's true, there's many more people. I don't even know, there's a viewer count, I think. We can't see it here, but I think...
If we go over to the other page...
I'm not sure if it shows the viewer count or not. I don't know, bugger things up, So there's obviously many more people watching than are actually commenting,
125, Evan Doyle says. Oh, and he also asked, what did I do before working here at Mokuhankan? A couple different things. A small tourist...
He was wasted his life completely, just wasting his life.
Wasting my whole life, yes. I guess. I was working at a tour agency in a tiny town where people went skiing, so skiing and hot springs is what it was known for. So it was really busy in the winter, and then the green season, so when we weren't buried under 3 meters of snow, was really slow. And then before that, in the same area, I was at an English school, so lots of other foreigners who come to Japan teaching English. But it wasn't just teaching, it was all sorts of stuff there. It was crazy. But I'm over here, a little bit closer to the city. A lot more people to talk to. normal for people to lurk.
Yeah, I guess so. I wasn't complaining, just commenting. So,
Yeah.
Before I forget, Cameron, there's guests coming at about somewhere around noon today, 12:30 or something, 1 o'clock.
Someone I know, or
No, TV Tokyo. They want to talk about a show.
Oh, fun. Interesting.
They're trying to do a show on neat places in Tokyo that foreigners have discovered, but that the Japanese don't know about.
Huh.
And they're looking at us.
Hey, that could be...
And I don't know if it's one tiny segment of a larger show, or if they want to do a half an hour.
Do a show on...
I have no idea, so we'll find out today.
That would be cool. Let's see. Some more questions. Bakameister, I think. This is my first time watching the stream. I actually didn't even know about it until someone mentioned it in a comment on the last YouTube video. So, we're glad to have friends from YouTube over here too. It's definitely a different kind of community because these are much more interactive than the YouTube videos.
By the way, I sort of, last night, after all the stuff was closed and quiet, I went for dinner by myself yesterday instead of going with Kawai-san.
Oh, yeah.
I sat and stuff, and I thought, I don't have a whole lot to do right now. No, I mean, the shop's coming downstairs, whatever. But actually, my to-do list, today's to-do list, I almost got it all checked off yesterday.
Wow.
I mean, on the to-do list doesn't things like finish the first 4 shop. It's not there. It's the actual things I had to ship to Ome, had to do this, had to do this.
The immediate needs.
So the immediate to-do list, and I almost got it finished off.
Hey.
And at the end of the evening there wasn't anything I could do in evening time. It needed, whatever, phone calls and dealing with people and other stuff. So I sort of, quote, had nothing to do.
Yeah.
The last hour of the day.
Right.
I can't go downstairs and start some major construction project at 11 o'clock at night, whatever.
Yeah.
So I sat there thinking, and I just brought up a new text file, and I started the next script for the next YouTube video.
All right.
And what I'm going to do, I looked back in the YouTube videos, and we've just finished the Davis Choice video number 6, and then I thought, that story we did about Ito-san the carver, when was that? And it turned out that it was 2 years ago next week.
Oh, wow.
And then that story, a rambled story about that carving that woman's, the print that I spoiled the key block on, it was and when was that? It was a year ago next week.
Oh.
So it seems those rambly videos, the ones that end up being about a half an hour long.
In late May.
It seems that so far they've happened in late May each year. So I thought, okay, Dave, nail yourself down here. Make the next video another one of those ramble stories. No teleprompter, no script. Get your little props ready, the things you want to talk about.
Cool.
Turn the camera on and give it a try. So I think next week I'm going to try that. We're going to try another one of those. I shouldn't pre-announce this because by God, it's going to, then the stress really pours on. So. And I can't script them. You can't script it. I don't want to teleprompter it. I don't want to script it. I just want to free talk to people. But it's so difficult to do a half an hour and stay on topic or whatever, so.
People are excited. Woo, another story. Excited.
Well, I'm in trouble now because I talked about it. I don't know, so I think that's it. But anyway, what I got to do is, there's a bunch, I know the topic I want to talk about, and I'll need a whole bunch of props, and they're over in Ome. There's some wood blocks that I was given, there's some books, there's an autographed signature somebody gave me, there's a letter I received back in 1983. There's a bunch of props that I will need to be able to show during the telling of this story, and they're all in Ome.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, I think we're going next Tuesday, I believe.
So not tomorrow, but the following Tuesday, right?
Is it tomorrow?
Is that what you mean?
That's a good question.
We had talked about both. I wasn't sure if we decided, because I can go either one. It's just another Tuesday. But
when was the woman here to talk about the book binding? That was over a week ago already, right? So I think the Tuesday we were supposed to go was is it tomorrow already? Holy crap! Today's Monday, isn't it?
It is.
Then it might be tomorrow. I got to see what Aoyama sends here today. I got to see what's happening downstairs.
Okay.
Whether he needs 2 people to do the downstairs job tomorrow. Okay, so that might be that then. We might be collecting all those props, and I say props, I mean stuff, whatever, prints and
things to talk about,
things to back up my story.
BP8483 says, I wonder if Dave has made any warrior and tiger prints. I've always wanted that for my collection.
You mean the one in our catalog? I know. I myself, I made 200 back in the day when I was publishing that. The blocks are still in the Ome workshop. None of our current printers have the ability to do that one. Numabi-san, whatever, it's impossible. There's nobody else around who can actually do that.
Huh.
It's a combination of normal ukiyo-e printing plus metallic pigments, and there's 4 metallic pigments on it. And it's just nobody else has the experience or knowledge about how to do that. So at some point in the future, when our printers are more experienced, that print and other ones like it will be back in our catalog.
Cool.
But it's not something I can do, promise.
Yeah.
But I can mention, if this sounds like a sales pitch, whatever, I don't know, we still have copies of my Tsurumono albums left. Over in the storeroom in Ome are the prints that I made back then before I started Mokuhankan. And that Warrior and Tiger print is in Tsurumono album number 4 or number 5. I can't remember actually.
I'm not sure either. But, so you can get it as part of a subscription, but not one by one.
Yes, exactly. We don't sell them one by one, but there are still prints still available from my subscriptions back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We haven't promoted them heavily. We don't talk about them very much, but they are still there.
Yep. They do exist. And that's on woodblock.com.
Yes,
you can't find
woodblock.com,
that
so-
on woodblock.com. All capital letters, same person, buying. So he's going to go find it. Thanks. Appreciate the support. I think BP8483 previously asked, am I able to link in chat? I think you put in a link. As long as it's relevant to what we're talking about, I don't think that's a problem at all.
No, of course not. Of course not. No, there's no automatic. I mean, some channels have an automated bot which doesn't allow posting links because of the trouble they've had with
spam and other
stuff.
junk.
So that's at the moment. Ours just turned. Whatever, it's open. If you post something.
Yep. So as long as it's relevant, it's fine. We've previously asked people share pictures of your own prints you're making and stuff. So please.
What's the only situation today? There's 1 or 2 of them there. What's happening? You know.
At least one. I think it is both on Monday though.
So we are shipping. Are we? Okay.
Yeah. So I've got to get a bunch of those
Great way
orders over the weekend. Yeah. And then I think we'll send out the next batch of just a few.
Waiting list people.
Yeah, the waiting list people.
Also, I want a few prints in the shop. So
Right. Where should I cut off there?
I sent 53 to them. They have 53 copies.
Okay. And then they're going to send some back, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. So I didn't keep any here for us to pack. So.
Okay.
So it's up to you. Whatever you think is a bit on the. I want 3 or 4 or 5 back here.
Yeah.
Yamamoto-san is ready to start the next batch. He's doing a job for the other publisher right now, and then probably tomorrow, day after, he'll start the next batch of waves. So.
Woohoo! That's good news. Joe Reese, VT. I'm relieved to be done with the semester, but now I'm in the process of moving into a new apartment, and it's completely exhausting. Anyone have any tips for how to pull things out of boxes and group them together in an organized way? Decide what room they're going to go into if you know what's in the boxes, but I think it might be too late if they're already in the boxes. I think the best tip is put them into boxes by room so that it's easy to just put them where they need to be at the destination, but you've got to have done that when you left. So I don't know.
Our family moved basically every 2 years when we were kids. It was a military family, so we were moving all the time. So it was a cleanup, just everything, just every 2 years it was basically pretty much throw everything away and start again. So.
Just start over every couple of years?
Not from zero, but it was we were packing stuff to move, and my mother's like, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. And kids are trying to hang on to stuff, and she's trying to lighten the load. And,
Got a question? Dave was in the military or family was?
No. My dad was in a military band. Without getting too long the story, in the late 50s we lived in England. In the early 50s we lived in England. I was born in England. And he was a member of a dance orchestra there, quite a famous dance orchestra called the Oscar Rabin Orchestra. He made a good living at it. He was a saxophone player and vocalist in the band. Good living at it, a very, very popular band. But when rock and roll came along, it changed life for dance orchestras, of course. Instead of the young people wanting to dance to an 18-piece swing orchestra, they wanted to dance to
rock and roll
bands. So his band collapsed. The whole business collapsed, and not just him, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of musicians were thrown out of work within the space of a couple of years, a couple of months, whatever, a couple of years. So he couldn't get work as a dance orchestra saxophone player. He wasn't about to take up guitar and grow his hair long. So he saw a poster somewhere. The Royal Canadian Air Force was looking for musicians in Britain to come and staff the Air Force Training Command Band. It was like, your military band, clarinets and cornets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he signed up and got it. So we emigrated to Canada to be, he was a musician in the TC band or something, the Training Command Band of the Royal Canadian Air Force. So he became a sergeant in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Nothing to do with guns and shooting and whatever. He was a saxophone player.
Yeah. That's cool.
But because it's military, there you go. 2 years here, posting to a different base there. The band gets shifted somewhere else, and the top brass changes an idea about something. So we were just literally every 2 years we moved. And at some point when I was about 14 or 15, he, quote, basically quit. He had enough of being in a military band. He wanted to be a real musician. So he took the family to Vancouver, where he tried to make it as a studio musician, working for the CBC and jazz orchestras and dance orchestras and stuff like that. And he did it. He pulled it off.
Cool.
For the rest of his life, he was a freelance studio musician in the Vancouver scene.
That's
very well known, very respected, very well known. There must have been tough years, we didn't know about it as kids, but there must have been years when, the money was a bit tight, whatever, making it as a
straight musician
is difficult, but he did it, pulled it off, brought up his family properly. And from that point on, the family was stable without moving around. But that was it. I was out of there. That was when I was 15. So 2 years later, I was gone. 3 years later, I was gone, and that was it. So, but all the time from when I was 5 years old to when I was 15, it was 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years.
Wow.
Very rootless kind of thing.
Yeah. Joe Reese, BT, says, it runs into battle looking down the sights of an oboe.
During the actual wartime, I don't know, what happened? Were there bands? And the bands, back in the old days, it was like bugles charging and getting shot at, I guess. I really don't know, back in the old days. But in these years we're talking about, 1960s, it was a ceremonial thing, obviously. He used to take trips over to NATO countries and stuff like that. There would be Canadian top brass would be going over to review the NATO troops or whatever. And they'd take their band with them and stuff like that, so.
Says, nah, you never shoot the drummer, boy. Hope not.
Time for more doorbells, don't you think? Time for Kawai-san and something to be here. Who's in today? Kawai-san and Doi-san?
I think so. Yep, there you go. Wow.
What a clock. Mokohankan runs like a clock.
Yep.
That's Kawai-san.
Suga-san.
Suga-san. Chotto trouble ですね。冷凍庫。Don't panic. 紙を出したんですが、今日朝上にいて、カレンダー見て、今日すぐさんとレイちゃん、扉開けて、 あ、レイちゃんのもですね。はいはいはい。かわいい。石川。すぐというものが全然なかったの。ちょ、いいすぐさん。でも、扉になり、ラベルがないものが3つあったんですよ。だから、ラベルもない。どこにあるとか。じゃあ、I have no idea what's going on. だから、ラベルがないもの2つ出したんですが、I have no idea if it's what you want or not. だから、ちょっとシステムをちょっと考えてください。もっといい方法を考えてください。
あれ、剥がれちゃうんだね。
そう、レイトですね。
上に出し
だから、ビニールの中に入れてとか。
わかった。そっか。
だから今、上に2つ出したんですが、本当にいいか
どれかわかんない。
そう、わかんないよ。
わかりました。ありがとうございました。はい。よっしゃ。
Dave's a medium. Mystic Dave. Dave's doorbell sorcery.
No, it's the same time. I mean, these people are reliable. They come at the same time, you know. What happened? I was thinking out loud a few minutes ago. It's pretty much time for Cameron to show up, I think. And before I closed my mouth, it went big pocket, totally random. But it's nearby. You have a sense for what time it is, don't you? You know, like I've got an alarm clock, but it never rings because I wake up like it's 1 minute before it. Reach out. And as I'm reaching out, I hear it go click as I'm touching it. You know, it's sort of or maybe they've got there's a little click inside before the real thing starts, and you hear that little click and wake up or something. I don't know how it works. But,
I think that only happens to me when I'm really well rested. Like, wake up a few minutes before. I'm ready to
go. Before opening the Saxo shop, I didn't use an alarm clock ever. You know, ever.
Yeah.
Just whatever. If you're up late, you get up late. If you get bed early, you're up early. But now I got no choice. There's a timetable. There's a stream to feed.
When you were talking with Suga-san, Aeromass is like, Kantar, translate! Uh-oh.
You can tell them the conversation about it. No big secret. I don't know.
We have this freezer with all the different printers, pieces of paper, and we keep them frozen.
Pieces of paper.
Yeah, printing paper. We keep them frozen so that they stay moist, bring them out a little while before they come. A few hours, is that right?
Yeah, so it's not that they stay moist. No, they would stay moist without. They were trying to keep them mold-free. We're trying to avoid rotting and mold and things growing in the paper. In winter, it's not so serious, but in summer it is.
Yeah.
And some of the printing jobs they do take a long time. It'll be a week or 10 days or something like that. So to avoid the paper getting moldy, we freeze it. Every night it gets frozen. And because I live here, it's my job every morning. I get my shower. After I come out of the shower, I look at the door of the freezer. And it's got a schedule and it shows who's coming today. They before they leave, they put the marker on for the next day they're coming.
Usually. And then...
And today's problem was different.
Today's problem. Her name isn't on any of the pieces of paper. Her name labels have vanished somehow. So he's looking all around.
They were using a kind of funny green tape, but when you freeze it, it loses its stickiness.
Yes, so it falls off somewhere.
So they were using the same piece of tape like a week in a row, and it falls off. So at the bottom of the fridge is all these name labels.
Yeah.
And up at the top of the freezer, there's all these packages with no names on. So I didn't have any idea what to do.
So some had names, but hers was gone.
There was 2 without names, so I just brought them both out. And if it turns out they're wrong, she can put them back in.
Find the right one. The paper wars continue.
If this is Doi-san or Kawai-san, Doi-san's coming this morning, eh? So he's our guy, our resident expert on Shinhanga and stuff. So
so he'll be interested.
So what I'll do is if it's him, we'll flip through the stack once more before we sign off here today.
Ping pong, ping pong.
Somebody asked me yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, this same noise was going on and on. I said, my God, so many customers this early in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not what's happening. They're going up and down the stairs, putting the flag out, putting the poster out, doing this, doing that.
Tutilis asks, Doesn't it harm the paper to get frozen over and over again?
Well, it doesn't. I did it first as an experiment years and years ago, trying to find a way to get it to be, mold-free. And I was really, really surprised to learn that it doesn't. It's actually beneficial. It sort of softens it up a bit more, makes it a bit easier to print. And the longest test I've run is I put some Utamoto reproduction prints in there as the project went funny in like 2004 or something. Well, it was over 4 years before I got a chance to pull them out of the freezer.
Wow.
Good morning, Kawai-san.
Good morning.
Good, say hello. Do your...
Good morning. おはようございます。
This has become a thing. Good morning, Kawai-san. 何、喫茶でストリーム聞きましたじゃない朝ごはん飲みながら。
ちょっと今日見て
なかったです。いや、なぜか、今のこのYoshidaの作品、まだ見てないですか？
昨日ちらっと、会議は、全部見てないです。それ見て。
Chilla says, you can't do that with ice cream or chicken.
4 years? So.
In and out of the freezer.
No, but it works really, really well.
Yeah.
It seems to keep it mold free. The paper gets soft and moist, ready for printing. We haven't found a downside yet. We're not worried about salmonella or whatever.
Yeah. Ice cream, freezing it, melting it, freezing it, melting it would not be good.
No, it works fine for printing paper.
Yeah,
so.
that's great.
I've been concerned that it might do something like hurt the sizing. We've got this gelatin sizing in the paper, which we need a stiffness in it to help print. I've been afraid that it might gradually, after repeated cycles of freezing and thawing, it might make the sizing too weak. Yeah, break it down or something. There's no evidence of that.
That's great. You did one for 4 years. I hear video.
He's woken up that computer over there is what he's done, and it's playing the stream.
Should I go hit that?
Kill it. Go kill it.
That's funny.
What's it doing? It's playing something.
Quiet now. What's that?
You heard that, right? You heard it?
Oh, I definitely heard it. But where? What? That was really bizarre.
He woke up the computer, did he?
No, was the screen still black? Yeah.
Are we having screen trouble here?
Looks still okay. No one's complaining, and the data...
I heard my own voice playing something.
Yeah, but I don't know where.
What's the question?
Ghost laptop. Ghosts. Hokusai's back. The ghost of Moku Hanko. Okay, let me find this question.
It might have been Kawai-san's phone.
That's what someone just said too. It was Kawai. Maybe his phone? Okay. MD Ruiter? Sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's a Twitch question. It says, I took a quick look on eBay for Hiroshi and Toshi Yoshida prints. There are copies available. Some are the same as you were showing. Different printing times and qualities. Take a look at yourself. But if I calculate quickly looking at the quality of the prints you were showing, you should get around $400 per print.
Okay, but just a minute. I mean, there's many, many, many different types of Hiroshi Yoshida prints on eBay. I know there are some from when he was still alive, which have an actual pencil signature from Hiroshi Yoshida himself.
Right.
These are not those. These are posthumous, later printings. So you really have to be careful and make sure what you're looking at.
Yeah.
If it's a living signature or if it's the posthumous signature. In both of those artists, Hiroshi and Toshi, because they've done the same thing. There are prints published when they were alive and prints published after they're gone. And in the case of Toshi, there are lots of both. because they are still, the Toshi Yoshida prints are still being, we have them in the shop now.
Right.
And they're quite reasonably priced because they're not so rare.
Mm-hmm.
Hiroshi Yoshida, it's a different story. So we'll have a look ourselves, of course. Thank you for starting this, and we will do this. But please understand what you're looking at. There are, you've got to distinguish between living, what the word, not living prints. Prints made when he was alive and prints made after he was gone.
We don't have the expensive Jizuri prints, but these might be even more rare, according to John Becker's. Jizuri, the ones that were done when he was alive?
Yes, but they sometimes put that mark on. It was carved into the block, so they left it on some of the posthumous ones. We've got them here in the shop. Some Toshi Yoshida prints printed yesterday, and it says Jizuri.
Huh.
It means nothing. It's not reliable.
Interesting.
The reliability is the signature. You've got to learn which signatures are the real signature and which signatures are the posthumous signature. And the real signatures, of course, each one varies little bit by little bit by little bit. And the posthumous ones are a set standard. All of these prints on my desk here have exactly the same signature.
Okay.
It's the signature put in, with a plate, a metal plate or a carved plate. And they are all exactly the same. And if you look in our shop, all the Toshi Yoshida prints have exactly the same signature. We show the customers this one. This is how you can tell the posthumous reproductions from the ones that were done when they were still alive.
Got it.
And it's really difficult because even the posthumous signatures, they're embossed from a little plate, and they're done in a gray thing that looks like pencil. And it's embossed. And it looks exactly, if you didn't know, it would look exactly like a pencil signature. You hold up the light, oh look, I can see the embossing. This is a real pencil signature, But it's not.
Tricky.
Yeah, they're not trying to trick people because they're open about what they've done. They themselves are not trying to trick the market and sell them for higher prices. But sometimes dealers are not so eager to tell their customers what the customers are looking at.
Right. Yeah.
So the Yoshida family is clean.
Yeah.
But sometimes dealers are less scrupulous.
Got it. John Becker says, I have both actual pencil signed and block printed Yoshida signatures, and they're not very hard to distinguish.
If you know that they're different. But if you don't know about it, they all look like pencil signatures. So.
The embossing is perfectly uniform, and the pencil signatures look different, as you were saying.
So.
Aeromath says, I'm driving from Atlanta to see them, John Becker. Or to John Becker. Then wants to go see these prints, I guess. Is there a print party at 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So, a couple more minutes until...
Was it that time already?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. I was postponing until Doy-san will come. I guess it's going to be a bit late today, so it's okay. So yeah, what I'll do then, I'll roll this out of the way. I'll just flip through that stack of prints one more time then.
Okay.
Before we sign off, hang on. You're so... I don't know, where am I? Okay, has the right setup?
Yep, looking great.
Let's have a look at these prints just one more time. As I mentioned,
yes, the gorgeous prints.
So, the signatures, if you can see them, the signatures are all exactly the same. It is Yoshida's posthumous signature. I mean, it's not his posthumous signature. They must have taken one sample, made a slug out of it, and that slug has been used to do all these prints. So those of us in the world, we know, we've learned that's the posthumous signature. Let's flip through these here, get this out of the way.
It's so interesting that he signed them in English. Or
Well, that was the
Romaji, I
custom.
guess?
What they did was these prints. They all have the date. This is in the block, Nate. It's the
Right.
date. This one says Showa. What's that character? Showa 15. Yeah. And then it's got the title Himejijo in
Yeah.
Japanese. And then they always put, and this is not signed in pencil. This is again a
part
prepared
of the
slug.
block. Okay.
They do the names in English. A huge part of their market in the post-war period was. No, it was soldiers, officers' clubs. They used to go and give demonstrations at the officers' club at all the different bases and stuff like that. The printers would go, they would sit. Hiroshi would give a little talk through a translator.
Yeah. Cool.
This is going to be a nice one. This is very, very famous. So. There's two of this one. He was an inveterate mountain climber, so he's made many, many prints. I forget, out of his output, like over 1/4 or something, are mountain scenes.
Where is this?
It's the Japan Alps.
Okay.
They're all, I don't know which one is which, but this is Nantoka Gataki. Can you read it? I don't know. It's so blurred, I can't read it. Yatsugatake janai. What's the kanji? Something gatake.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure.
No,
it looks like an older kanji, too.
That's your excuse. What's my
That's my
excuse?
excuse, yeah. Oh, and he didn't put the English name on this one. Oh. Something. That's beautiful.
Nicely printed. This one, I think there's 4 copies of this one.
Wow.
So, 4 of them.
And they all look the same. Ooh, nice.
I'm not in love with this one. It's some kind of mountain bird. I don't know what it is. There's 4 of those as well. This is a goodie. I love this one. This is a goodie.
Oh, wow.
This was the Shinhanga stuff, light and dark, you know, how to make light. You make light by going around darker and darker and darker around it. And the darker you go around, the lighter the thing looks itself. You know, so.
It's like times burned bright. That's the original.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. I don't like this one. To me, it's too muddy. It's just mud. I'm an ukiyo-e fan. I like clean, clear colors, you know.
This is Nikko, though, isn't it?
I guess so. I just don't like this stuff at all. Now, some of them, the scenery is okay, but when it gets just too muddy beyond the point where you can see anything. If they'd done this in ukiyo-e style, layering, it's okay. But no thanks. This stuff's attractive. It's okay. You know.
Yeah. Some of these look almost photographic. I mean, not the detail, but the composition.
When you stand back
and
and screen,
color.
yes, exactly. They look photographic. This is another classic one. He did a few with rapids. He did a very large one called Rapids. It's about 2 feet wide and nearly 3 feet wide. It's huge. This is a smaller version.
Wow.
The clean. I like the clean ones, you know. Clean and clear. It's a bit atmospheric, that's fine. What I don't like is when they just dump so much mud on top that you can't see what's going on. You know. This is classic. The water.
Yeah,
on one of my own prints, when I did one of my own prints in the Solitude series, this was the thing I was looking at to try and figure out how to do reflections in the water. This is what I was studying. You know.
Wow. Is that a moon in the sky?
It's a new moon, yeah. So.
What a nice little subtle touch.
This is classic too.
Yeah.
Front to back, close, medium, distance. The classic Japanese composition method. You know, so. And I don't remember this one. If you'd have showed me this without a name on it, I wouldn't have even tagged it as Hiroshi Yoshida because I don't remember it. But. No, clean. This is my favorite type of stuff. Clean. A bit too simple maybe, but whatever. This one too. The water. Look at the water, the water, the water.
That reflection.
Come on. It's just so nice. You know? This one's also well known.
Mountain climber.
And this one famous, Kasuga.
Yeah.
Oh, the last one. Another new moon.
Yeah.
So there we are. That's the collection.
Beautiful.
So I'll be doing some research on them first to try and figure out what to do with them, and then I guess we'll, I don't know, test them on eBay first or something. I really don't know what to say. We'll see.
Someone asked, are those Shika? Yes, those were the Shika deer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Famous place, Kasuga Shrine. So, okay, there we have it.
Okay.
I think I got to get to work.
Yep.
I have to get ready for the first print party of the day. Today's Monday, so there will be no stream tomorrow. I think Cameron-san and I will be going, I don't know.
Ome.
We'll be going out to Ome. Can I do this? Can I tip the camera up? So, Cameron-san and I will be going out to Ome on Tuesday. And if things go well, some in the next couple of weeks, I'll be getting my camera set up, sitting here and trying another, I shouldn't talk about this before we do it, trying another ramble video.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's a cool story. The story is not about some craftsman I met, but it's about some prince I met one day. On my first trip to Japan back in, it was 1979 or 1980. I'll have to get my facts straight because I don't remember exactly. It was a super rainy day. Me and my then wife, and we had a plan to go to Himeji Castle, but the rain was like, I mean, buckets, total buckets. You're breaking umbrella level of strength. So we come out of our Minshikura hotel. What are we going to do out in front of the train station? What are we going to do? And there's like a department store there.
Yeah.
So we go in the department store, and whatever, the story should be told later. But so because it was raining one day, and because that department store was there and open, and because this little guy was up on the 7th floor with a little demonstration of prints, and because, what's that? I saw some prints, and that's why I'm here today.
Cool.
A bunch of things tied together, whatever. So, whatever. It's a fun story. Let's see if I can tell it without my head exploding or something. Whatever. I don't know. Cameron-san, sign us off. I got to get to the print party room. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday, probably continuing that calligraphy carving. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching again.
Okay. See you later. It's the origin ramble.
There's some, whatever. Yeah, it's one of the origin stories. Yes. So.
Thanks a lot, everyone. See you next time.